You know, for the longest time, we've always been told that Nigeria is the biggest economy in Africa. Whether that is true or not, it doesn't mean if a country has the biggest economy, there is no people suffering in that country. It just means that there's enough money. There's a lot of people who have money, but there's also still a lot of people who are poor. Yesterday, I came across a video, and I'm going to play the video here of one of the interviews. They were interviewing one of the guys. I don't know this guy's name. He's a Nigerian. He works with the Nigerian news. He was explaining that more than 133 million people in Nigeria are poor and are drowning in poverty. So it's not just South Africa that is a collapsing economy. Even though the economy, there is more money, there's still people who are poor. And it seems like it's many countries in Africa. But there's a clip I want you guys to hear for yourself.
Let's take you to Nigeria, where more and more people are said to be living in severe poverty. Recent data from the National Bureau of Statistics of Nigeria shows that more than 133 million Nigerians are suffering from multidimensional poverty. That's about 63% of the country's population. Meanwhile, the number of youth engaging in drug and substance abuse has surpassed 10.5 million mark. Well, let's discuss these issues now with our Nigerian correspondent, Tessem Akende, joining us from Jos. Tessem, good afternoon. Thank you for your time here on Today. So the levels of poverty seeming to be deepening in Nigeria, with about 63% of the population said to be suffering from multidimensional poverty. That's a very dire situation. Just break down the numbers for us.
Yes, indeed. It's really a disturbing situation here in Nigeria. And looking at the causes, we've been really disturbed as well. We're looking at the causes. Insecurity is one of them. Nigeria is battling an insurgency. Many people, according to the United Nations Refugee Agency, 3.2 million were displaced, and many of them were farmers who had family members. I mean, it's been so much of a bad situation because livelihoods have been lost. So the whole cycle, the whole situation has really been bad. So these are really the issues. And so looking at, and of course we've had flood this year. So a lot of people, farmlands washed away, many are displaced. The UN said over 2 million were displaced. Of course, they've started leaving IDP camps now. But indeed, it's been a very sad situation. People, so it's really, the issues are multidimensional. So yes, it's a sad situation, really.
Yeah, Tessem, is there an idea that the pandemic has worsened matters, like in other parts of the world?
Yes, of course, the pandemic had its place because, but of course, the government waded in with soft loans and microcredits. People had to take up, people like those who were in the hospitality industry, hotels, restaurants, and all of that. They had to shut down at some point because, I mean, these were identified spots for people to actually pick up coronavirus. So that actually led to job losses. So the chain continued over and over and over. So the recovery process, yes, government has given out credits and monies and all of that for people to pick up again. But of course, it takes a whole process. We're hoping that people will get, but a lot of people have gotten back. But yes, it's not perfect yet. People are still, trying to pick up, get back their clients, get back, build confidence again. So it's a whole process. Yeah, so to answer you, COVID-19, as elsewhere in the world, affected the numbers here in Nigeria as well.
Yeah, I mean, you've mentioned a number of factors, including insecurity. Yes, weather-wise, there's been drought, but also parts of Nigeria have had flooding recently. So everything like compounding to make the situation worse. The government, I mean, are they looking at these numbers of 133 million Nigerians who are suffering from multidimensional poverty and thinking we need to intervene? Has there been any word of government or any comment on the data that has come out from the National Bureau of Statistics?
Yes, of course. I identified insecurity as one of the reasons behind these numbers, why these numbers are like this. The government is taking very strong measures at ending the insecurity that has affected several states here in Nigeria. 33 states at the moment, we understand, have, and of course we have 36 states in Nigeria. 33 of them have one form of insecurity or the other. The government is really, trying to ensure that these, are tackled. President Muhammadu Buhari says his government, which will be ending next year, is committed to ensuring that Nigeria is safe before he hands over to the next government. That's for insecurity. Talking about the poverty levels, the president has also assured that his government is committed to ensuring that millions, he quoted 100 million Nigerians, moved out of poverty. How is it doing this? A committee has been set up to put a draft together to source for funds and work out workable solutions to ensure that this is actually, this is actualized. So yes, the government is looking at the numbers, but it is also concerned at ensuring that, as far as it's concerned, 100 million pigs moved out of poverty within the next 10 years. I must state that as well.
Yeah, finally, Tessem, before we conclude, I understand the number of youth who are said to be engaging in drug and substance abuse has now surpassed the 10.5 million mark in Nigeria. That's a very serious situation.
Yes, indeed, it's a very serious situation. Of course, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, the agency that is actually monitoring the situation, says it also has a ripple effect on why the security issues have continued to linger. But it has also narrowed it down to the millennials and the Gen Z, the very young people who were maybe born between the 2000 and maybe very young people abusing alcohol, abusing drugs like marijuana and a few others. So it's really disturbing, but of course, the government has also mandated this agency. They're cracking up on them. They're ensuring that, look, campaigns are on. And of course, people are being arrested and convictions made in court. In the last 22 months, for instance, over 3,000 convictions have been gotten in court. So, yes, the numbers are rising, yes, but something is also being done about it. And we're hoping that the numbers will reduce drastically as these enforcement agencies continue with their duties.
As usual, thank you very much, Tessem Akende, for your time here on Today on ENC, giving us an update on two of main stories coming out of Nigeria this afternoon.